Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, everyone? What's going on, Chip? I'll tell you what's going on. Crypto is leaving the US for Europe. Maybe it's just Ripple. I don't know, but Europe is passing some really interesting clarity. The US not so much, going the other way. So all hail King Gensler. Chip, I'm reclaiming my time.
Reclaiming my time, Jeff. Let's go. You ready to do this?
I'm ready. Let's do it. XRP, baby.
Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time. Official shirt coming out very soon. Reclaiming my time.
Reclaiming.
Yeah, we heard a lot of that in the hearing, didn't we? A lot of that in the hearing. But guys, exciting day today. We are giving away a badass Yetis on the Unchained broadcast today, which is pretty exciting. And again, guys, we're really excited about how the mint is going. We're already 25% sold out, so there's a little bit of ways to go, but I'm really excited about it. We always said like ways you can promote the show. Best way to do it is just share it with people. You know, obviously aside from the super chats and all that good stuff, just sharing it with people and helping us grow and reach more people that are like-minded like you and what you enjoy and what you'll enjoy coming in and talking about in the chat. And the other part of that too is the other new way you can support us as of Tuesday is you can support the channel too by getting a badass Yeti. And again, today's broadcast is brought to you by the badass Yetis. So the badass Yetis, Jeff. And I'm really excited about, and we'll get into it a little bit later, you know, towards the end of the broadcast, but I want to
win a giveaway, Chip. So if anyone's tuning in now, wait. If you're live, there's a giveaway. You're watching on the rewatch. Maybe there'll be a giveaway tomorrow on the rewatch. That'll be interesting.
Yeah. And a lot, and what's really exciting about this too, is like so many people have given, purchased, NFTs that never bought an NFT before. So that like right there is a phenomenal, super excited about that, guys. And, you know, that's just really humbling to see everybody go out there. And then we set up a Discord server, which we'll talk about as well. But another way to build community, right? Come in, talk to people, again, like-minded, right? People are showing off their Yetis. They're talking, you know, we're having some good conversations. It's been great for Jeff and I because we're meeting you guys in another sort of a forum versus
forum. Man, it's been awesome. Shit. Yeah, it's been really cool. Really cool because we got different Twitter groups and engagement here, and you know, being able to meet people in the environment where we just talk about, you know, the NFT and just start, you know, building more community. And we're going to go through the Discord. I might even put up a Discord channel in the Badass Yetis specifically for OTC, but I don't know if we'll do that. I'm not sure, but come over. There's a hangout spot in the Badass Yeti Discord, and we'll share that. I'm looking for a really amazing comment that came through over the past couple of days, and if I can find it, I'm going to read that off. That came from a longtime listener here on the chain, and it was so moving, so touching. I gotta find it here. I've got to read it. Yeah, I know it's in the signal. I wanted to find it on the Discord. So here it is. I found it right here. This is really cool. And so we'll get into that. Chip, we have a ton of stuff to go over as usual. Hopefully we'll have a couple rants and raves.
There might be a few, Jeff. There could be one or two. I don't know.
But
what's going on? Maybe.
One thing that's consistent is that the blue team has been continuously proving themselves to be anti-crypto. So if there's anyone out there that can prove us wrong, I would love for you guys to do that. If you can show us and share with us that the blue team is not, as a whole, as a generality, trying to destroy and dismantle crypto in this country and push all of those rewards to other countries and other people, please show us that. I would love to see it. But the one thing that is clear, at least from my side, and I'm sure Chip shares the sentiment, is that the red team is doing everything in their power to provide some path to clarity and expansion within the crypto space and the blockchain space. And so, again, if you guys can prove us wrong, please do that. I would love to see it. I want this to be a bipartisan issue. I don't want this to be a team issue, you know, where one group wins and the other group loses, because that is bad for the United States. And really, it's going to be bad for the world, because innovation is the center of everything. And without innovation, without economics, we're in a bad spot, a really bad spot. So we have to maintain a leadership role. I'm not saying the U.S. always has to be the leader, but we have to maintain a leadership role and a seat at the table for this amazing digital asset class. Chip.
I'm trying to think of what to say after that. I mean, it's absolutely right. I mean, and that's part of it too. It's like we're starting to hear, a thing with going with Coinbase, moving offshore. And the funny part about it is like, yeah, we'll go to Bermuda because Bermuda has for some time had some really, and again, I've actually been fortunate enough to go to Bermuda. It's a weird thing because like, it's just in the middle of like, the Atlantic Ocean there. It's like halfway. Uh-oh, my dog. Hang on a second.
No. I hear the
he's like knocking all my shit over here, man. Come on, man.
Thank you and good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
But in Bermuda, the funny thing about Bermuda is I was like, Bermuda shorts and all that stuff. They don't really wear that. Yeah, they do. They wear Bermuda shorts with like, with the.
I haven't heard Bermuda shorts in a long time.
Yeah, they wear them over there because they still wear them there. I was like, it's a crazy thing. But and you think about it, you're like, oh, okay, cool. They'll go to Bermuda, and guess what? I'll be able to participate if I live in the U.S. No, you won't be able to participate if you live in the U.S. They're just offshore there, but no, you can't participate. And this is really what this whole thing with Gensler. Gensler's becoming such a liability, even to the blue team, that it's time to. They're going to probably throw him over, and there's a lot of liability going around, right? So you got the resident in that big old White House on that hill there, and a lot of stuff surfacing there. So I think it's going to be an interesting year. I've said it doesn't finish out the term. I've said that. I've made that prediction. I'm sticking to it. Probably not going to happen. And but when we think about regulation and stuff, let's suppose like so the other, I guess the other disappointment that we all have is we were waiting for that new date, right? January 3rd took a little bit of time to announce who the speaker was going to be, but that was in place by around the 7th or 8th of January. Well, last time I checked, February, March, April, we are almost into May. It's almost 4 months later. There has been some good things passed inside of Congress, but let's suppose tomorrow, or not tomorrow is like Sunday, but this next week, suppose Congress, the House of Representatives, they go ahead, they pull out that tax and token taxonomy, they dust it off, they get it out of committee, they vote on it, they pass it through the House. Now it moves to the Senate. Well, who do we have in the Senate? Well, first of all, the Senate is controlled by the blue team. And who do we have? We have anti-crypto people sitting there like Elizabeth Warren and a host of others. Pretty much. Yeah, Jeff. And when we think about, even one person to be against it, you're not going to get to the majority you need to be able to pass it. But let's suppose by some crazy, weird miracle, it passes out of the Senate. Then, Jeff, it heads over to the resident's desk for a signature. And then what happens there, Jeff? Probably nothing. Why? How do we know that? Well, because the blue team is just anti-crypto. They're really not into it. But if you think about this, the red team said, hey, we've got a debt ceiling coming up here in the United States. We're fastly approaching. They said, hey, let's come to the table. Let's do some compromise. We're willing to lift the debt ceiling. But here's the thing. We want to make some cuts. We want to make sure that we're being fiscally responsible. You know what the resident said, Jeff? I'm not even going to look at it. So
Chip, I have to put a point of clarification here. So when we talk about the danger of what the blue team is promoting versus the red team, right? So Chip, you just mentioned the Token Taxonomy Act, which is a path forward, and that's been years, in the making. We've seen some other positive direction. We saw Gary Gensler being destroyed in front of Congress. We know exactly where Warren Davidson stands, Tom Emmer stands. We know where Kennedy stands. We know where a whole host of them stand in regards to moving crypto in the right direction. Now, if you want to draw a complete polar opposite comparative to this, all we have to do is pull up a bill that was introduced in March by a blue team member. His name is Senator Edward Markey, and maybe it's Markey Edward. No, I think it's Edward Markey. And
it doesn't matter, Jeff. It really doesn't.
It doesn't. So this was introduced to the Committee on Environment and Public Works. Now, you have to say, okay, where do they actually stand in this notion of we're trying to promote and push things forward. What is the bill? So the bill's name is Crypto Asset Environmental Transparency Act of 2023. This was introduced March 6th in front of the Senate. What is it? Now, again, there's no real action, but to require an interagency study on the environmental and energy impacts of crypto asset mining. So we're looking. So again, this is a very ESG, try to dismantle crypto at all costs, try to look at it from every possible angle. They're attacking it from every direction to assess crypto asset mining compliance with the Clean Air Act and for other purposes. Now, here's the problem with that, is that what does this have to do with anything? Because if you are to open up a business and your business is, utilizing nuclear power, or let's say it's using an old coal plant, and you decided to ramp up this old coal plant, there's already environmental guidelines on how you operate that plant. There's already environmental guidelines if you're dumping toxic waste into the waters, or you're polluting excessive into the environment. They've already put those in place. So why do you need additional investigation into the environmental impact of crypto asset mining? How does that become relevant? If you set up a mine, let's say you buy a warehouse and you plug all your computers into the wall and you use electricity, so what? Now, Chip, here's one of the things I was thinking about. Last night, I went to a hockey game, and we're sitting in this big arena over there where the Panthers play. And I was thinking about how much electricity, how much power it requires to cool a stadium to the point where you can keep the ice from melting, right? And then you have to change the environmental regulations. How much power is being utilized for entertainment purposes all around the country, for football, for basketball, for hockey, for professional sports, for college sports? Is anybody ever considering the environmental impact that sports has on the environment? I would say no. Nobody's passing bills on that. So when you have a brand new asset class, meaning in the last decade, that's there to better the lives of the majority of people around the world, and yet they attack it on a notion that is so infantile, that is so duplicitous, it shows you exactly what their true colors are. That's the clear divide, Chip. Sorry for the long rant on that.
Oh, the rants are my favorite part of the show, Jeff. That's what I really like to listen to. And so funny enough, it's like we talked about. Gensler got grilled too about the ESG, right? Because, and especially Donald's, who's a representative, Donald's, who's over here on the west coast of Florida. And one of the things that he was saying was like, look, Congress didn't grant you any powers from 1930s. I mean, they weren't thinking about. Then he's like, sure. He was doing all this stuff, and of course, this is what they think. This means the ESG, environmental, social, and governance. But it's really what it means: environmentally silly goofballs, right? So that's really what it is. A bunch of
environmentally silly goofballs. I like that.
Ultimately, what it means, because it's a bunch of nutters, and like Jeff said, I mean, like to kind of just really think about what's really important. Look, I don't think there's a person that lives on, the planet that doesn't think about, hey, let's treat the planet well. The old Boy Scout, the rule, which was leave a place better than you found it, right? Pick up after yourself. Make sure, do your part. Recycle stuff. Don't waste. I think everybody can agree on that. I think as humans living on this planet, we can all agree on that. Having a company that's going to do their normal list of disclosures as it applies to their organization, every bit of it, right? On the fiscal side of it, that's the whole idea, is this transparency with the fiscal side of the business, so that you as an investor knows, as a public company, now to say that. And Gensler made some BS moves in that he said, well, there's thousands of companies that are saying, what's my exposure? No, first of all, there's been multiple polls that have been put out, and multiple polls have said this: companies don't want anything to do with that. They will do it on their own. And that was the point that Rep. Donalds made, said, hey, it's fine. And he said, hey, he even called them out. He goes, should we now disclose, like, you're wearing a blue shirt? Should we now disclose how many people are wearing blue shirts? Because that's how pathetic this is. He says if they want to do it on their own volition, beautiful. But you requiring companies, and any companies that are engaged in this sort of nonsense are losing money hand over fist, because it is precluding them from doing a lot of things that it's really hamstringing what they would normally do and how they'd operate as a company. So enough on that whole thing. I wanted to play, speaking of goofballs, Jeff, here's one right here. This goofball right here. This is
the Shermanator.
That's the Shermanator, right? And he probably is one of the dumbest people. He's got to make the top 5 of the dumbest people in Congress, right? But to his defense, who are the people voting for this moron? Let's be honest, right? So this guy gets voted in. Of course, Jeff. Can you look up the district that he's in? Shermanator. He's Southern California.
So he's in a district that heavily relies on technology, but he's very anti.
Yeah. So is he in the Bay Area then? Is that where he is? Is he in Silicon Valley area?
Looking it up.
Yeah, look up where he's from. But I wanted to put this up there because Crypto Eddie put this beautiful. She found this, and again, when I think about top researchers and people digging stuff out, this is it. So if you look here, let's go ahead and put this out. She said the contrast will leave you speechless. Let's listen to this. Is 2 different takes on the same subject here, but let's listen to this. And Jeff, tell me if you can hear this. Let me see. I got the volume up. Let's go.
Our payment system. You got Apple Pay, comes right out of your checking account. It's not as good as what the crypto world promises they'll deliver in some future decade, but it's way better than what the crypto world delivers now. And I am sure that payment systems using the dollar.
Okay, let me just stop it there. I know we like to listen through before we comment on it, but otherwise it's too long and you can't get to the points. This is absolutely ridiculous. So first of all, if you're using a credit card that's attached to a crypto account, Crypto.com has one, Uphold has one, and you say that you want to designate XRP or another digital asset, guess what you can do, dumbass? You can actually put that in your Apple Pay, and it comes out of your crypto account, not your checking account, you dumbass. So this is just how dumb okay, here we go.
I just want to point out all the douchebags out there that have voted for this clown. Malibu, Beverly Hills. It shows you who these people are. I mean, it amazes me to no end, right? These people, I'm not saying all the people that live in Beverly Hills and Malibu, but a large percentage of these people, the majority of them obviously voted for him. This is the poison that infects California, right? When you see, these are people that have, millions and millions of dollars that have probably made it off your backs because you've gone to movies and you've partaken in entertainment, and now they're sucking the lifeblood out of you while they live in their multi-million-dollar mansions on the beach. And they want to destroy California by taking every last opportunity that you have to make your life better so that they can live as kings on your back. There's something wrong with that. And these are the people that will continuously vote to put clowns like this into Congress. And these are the people you have to be aware of. And I don't say that lightly because this guy is self-admittedly trying to dismantle cryptocurrency and blockchain. And this is the new technology of today. So imagine where the Shermanator would have been on the .com era. And if the Democrat or the blue team, sorry, let me point it the right way. If the blue team was acting then like they're acting now, we wouldn't be sitting here having a conversation together on this beautiful platform and being able to go through all this. Why? Because our innovation would have been in the Stone Ages, and the .com era would never have come to fruition because they would have penalized and destroyed it and dismantled it. Maybe we would have all been on this platform in a different language. I don't know, but this is exactly, what this guy stands for. This guy, like all the rest, stand for the Stone Ages. That's exactly what they want. That's exactly what they believe in. Or what they believe in is, hey, we're so all high and mighty and all of our people live on the beach and they're all worth millions of dollars. And they go out to the restaurants and they're paying, $20 for a glass of milk, but that's how they live because they're so great and they can have these multi-million-dollar mansions that are, over 10,000 square feet, 20,000 square feet. Think about the amount of power consumption that each one of those individuals drains out of our economy with their private planes, their private yachts, and their mega mansions that they have all over the world. And yet we can't look at the benefit of crypto mining, Chip. It disgusts me how these people think.
No,
Sorry.
right. Not only that, private planes, everything, all the things, everything that they use. I want to thank. This is Crypto Ryan 17. Thank you, Crypto Ryan. He says, "Hey, go ahead and grab a coffee on me, lads. Appreciate that. Always appreciate the support here, guys. Thank you for that." And that's well said. But let's listen into the rest of this nut job because he's quite the nutter. Let's continue on.
We'll get there. So what is the problem?
You are the problem. You've answered your own question, dude. You are the problem. Okay.
In the current environment, we are failing at making this happen as a country. Our regulation is currently chaos for stable coins. If I am an issuer and I want to create a stable coin, I technically don't know if I'm going to be answering to a state regulator, a federal banking regulator, the SEC, the CFTC. And it puts you in the same position as if you were out with friends and you were going to play, some sports game, and somebody tells you, well, we may enforce the rules of baseball or football or basketball, and we're not going to tell you which in advance, and maybe some of them will all apply at the same time. It's unworkable.
I love it. That guy's awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome. That's
brilliant.
Austin. What is his name? His name is Austin Campbell, and he's awesome on Twitter. I see a lot of cool stuff he puts out there. This guy's just spot on, man. He's just such a superstar, this guy. I think we have a tweet in here from him as well, thread. But yeah, he's spot on. And then you so this is great. I love what Crypto Eddie did. She did the contrast. She edited these clips together just so you can see how crazy this dude is, how crazy town he is. I wish it was louder, guys, but the clips are always way too low, and that's just sometimes how it works.
Louder.
The problem is it's damn hard to cheat on your taxes, and it's damn hard to run a drug sales operation with the US dollar.
This guy is delirious, dude. It's damn hard. I hate to tell you, man.
That's how they've been doing it.
When a 3-letter agency in the 80s figured they could take a white substance and turn it and go power store into something called crack, that was all done, mind you, with the US dollar, and it was done internationally. Okay. So, and it is damn hard to cheat on your taxes. Well, I got news for you. If the Supreme Court said we had to audit and release the taxes of the former president, let's take a look at your taxes, mister. Let's see who you're getting paid by. Let's see where your money comes in from. Okay. This is what we have to do. We have to audit these people. You got to audit Gensler. Let's find out where that money's coming in from, because let's see if it's damn hard to cheat on your taxes, buddy. Because we'll look at your taxes and see if you're full disclosure and everything.
As blockchains have a significant degree of transparency that's not present in markets like actual cash markets, right? When somebody transacts on a blockchain, it's public. We may not always know right now who transacted, but you know the amount, the time, the wallets they traded with, what they sent back and forth. And with the richness of data, it's just a matter of time until you can identify the wallets. This is a huge data analysis tool to enforce our rules on the financial system that we are potentially giving away.
We have a very good payment system. We have an excellent currency. The entire world tends to like the dollar.
First of all, the entire world does not like the dollar, Brad Sherman. Brad Sherman, first of all, you must be just completely asleep, because everybody is getting away from the dollar. Have you heard of BRICS? Like, he's so disconnected from reality, Jeff. And he says it's an excellent payment system. Since 1971, when we got taken off the gold standard, the US dollar's lost 96% of its value. Okay, so explain to me how it's a great great value.
It's a good store of value.
Oh, it's a good store of value, Jeff. Tell me how it's a good store of value.
Measure of value.
Right now, over the past year, the biggest winner has been Tether. They're offshore. They don't work well with us. They facilitate some activity they probably shouldn't. But the chaos is leading that stable coin to grow while others shrink.
My God. Other countries are moving forward with this, and we got to catch up with them.
And what this means, and it pains me to say this as an American, is that things are moving offshore. I can say this with certainty because I advise my clients right now to do exactly that. There are
Wow.
other regimes with significantly more regulatory clarity than what we have provided here. The other thing that's happening is other countries are moving into this space. Just this morning before the hearing, I saw news that Russia is exploring legislation to formalize their ability to transact in crypto. If we don't take the field, others will do so before us, and they may not be doing it in ways that we like.
Because we've got know your customer and we've got anti-money laundering, and we need a payment system that meets the needs of the millions of Americans, or at least the hundreds of thousands of Americans who want to engage in major illegal activity.
If you're a good actor who wants to comply with the law, who wants to do the right thing, you want to go there because you know you can do it with certainty. And this, it's bad for jobs. It's bad for the strength of the dollar. It's bad for our status as a reserve currency. It's particularly bad for national security.
He's absolutely right, but he's absolutely right. And what he's talking about, Jeff, when he talks about national security, this is so the new way in the United States, by the way, the new buzzword is if you really want to get away from, let's say, censorship. I mean, I'm trying to figure out the right word to say, but if you really want to do that, what you say is like, it's in the interest of national security. So then you try to do it in front of national security. First of all, here's why it's a problem with the government of the U.S. Because sanctions don't mean anything anymore. If there's no reserve currency and they're transacting in their own currency, they could give a rat's behind if they use the U.S. dollar or not. It's like, we've sanctioned you. It's like, so what? Who cares? We don't use it anymore. So these other countries have figured out that we don't need to use the US dollar. We don't need to be told what to do. And we want our country to be the best that it can be and operate the best it can be and make whatever country that is great again by not being under the thumb of what the US or the bad actors in the US, I will say, want to do. And we see a lot of that now, Jeff.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wish I could remember who the speaker was. He's from originally from China, and he was referencing this major push to have the digital yuan or the yuan in general, and China at the epicenter of a brand new reserve currency. And he brought up an interesting point that if you go to the United States, for instance, people all over the world flee to the U.S. to bring their money to the U.S. because they feel that it's safe and secure here in the U.S., right? You don't have people in the U.S. making money up until this point and trying to take their money outside the U.S. and fleeing with their money. They try to keep it in the U.S. In China, you're saying it's the exact opposite, is that there's so many wealthy people in China, but right now it's illegal for them to take their money outside of China. As soon as China or their currency becomes a reserve currency, meaning it's now accepted all over the world, China won't be able to regulate or control the wealthy people keeping their money in China. And he said it would be a massive monetary drain almost overnight, that all these wealthy people, they buy real estate, they do all this stuff to take money outside of China, even sending their kids outside of China to live in other countries. But he said it would be almost, again, an overnight monetary drain where everyone would just take their money and it would be gone. And that's one of the things that China would concern themselves with, which is another reason why they're pushing the digital yuan, because then it's programmable anywhere you are in the world. And so there's a lot of intricacy to this major move that we're seeing, and there's going to be a lot of politics. And, right now, there's this, and it's an irrational, push to have China at the epicenter, at the helm of what's happening right now. And the BRICS nations, Russia, China, South Africa, I still am confused as to why India is in this mix. It just doesn't make sense, because India is not playing nice, with China and Russia. It doesn't jive. I don't get the BRICS, push. Like, India needs to be out of that. It just needs to be BRICS. Maybe it could be Brazil, Russia, China, and South Africa. And now they're trying to recruit others. I think it's going to be chaos, moving, and pandemonium is what we're going to see, moving forward. But pandemonium.
I love that word, pandemonium.
Yeah, I love
word,
it.
Jeff. We haven't used that in probably ever on the show.
I don't think we have, but
it's always good to introduce new words. So look at this right here. Look at Jim D says the best way to launder money is to be a U.S. congressman and take foreign donations and small payments via Chinese page clickbot donors.
I love it.
By the way, that wasn't
You
covered
want to
with
get rich.
one of these organizations. Jeff went door to door and they were asking people. Again, we have to be careful. There's an organization. Let's just say that there's an organization that has the word blue in it. And they went up to started knocking on doors and said, "Hey, do you contribute to this organization, Blue?" And they were like, "Yeah, of course." I might have sent some money there. Okay, well, this says you sent $62,000 there last year. Did you do that? No. So what's happening is people were like donating to the Blue team daily with different with amounts of money that was within the accepted range in people's names fraudulently. So that's exactly what was kind of going on here. And I wanted to finish this up by saying John Deaton shed for that clip that we just put up there of with Austin Campbell and and contrasting Brad Sherman. He said this shows two things. Brad Sherman is an utter moron. You can't cheat on your taxes with the US dollar. According to Sherman, before blockchain technology and crypto existed, no one ever cheated on their taxes. And of course, BZ says, "Hey, Wesley Snipes would agree. It's hard to cheat on taxes
because he didn't cheat on his taxes.
Cheat on his taxes either, but he did time for something. But it was probably unrelated, Jeff, just a coincidence or whatever. But a good point. And if we think about, he also said Austin Campbell did a great job. This is Austin Campbell. If you guys aren't following him, Campbell LL Austin. And then if we look over here, here he is right here. He's a consultant, professor, and a writer, and he runs this." Zero Knowledge, which is a consulting firm that really helps companies and foundations to really understand what all the implications are behind blockchain and how that reads for the future. So I thought that was pretty interesting, Jeff.
I think this congressman from 2018, he was ordered to pay 120 months in prison, ordered to pay $1 million in restitution, to be followed by 3 years of supervised release for orchestrating a 4-year scheme to defraud charitable donations of hundreds of thousands of dollars and secretly funnel the proceeds to pay for personal expenses and to illegally finance his campaign for public office. I'm not going to point out, what team he's on. However, that was 2018. Did he use crypto? Do you think? He was using Bitcoin for that?
Don't think it was, Jeff. For some reason, I'm not sure. But you know what? According to Brad Sherman, it's damn hard to cheat on your taxes. Now, when anybody in Congress runs one way or points heavily in one direction, they're pointing this way. There's at least four fingers pointing, the three fingers pointing back, right? So in this case, Brad, are you trying to tell us something? It's damn hard to cheat on your taxes. Wink, wink. Like he's trying to tell us something, Jeff. It's damn hard to cheat on your taxes. Okay, well, let's look at your taxes, buddy. Because I have a feeling that there's something not so great about it. And we think about crypto legislation. I wanted to throw this up here because this was a big event this week as well. Let me go ahead and show this again. There's so many things you have to run through, Jeff, here. But let's go ahead and show this. Here it is right here. So a landmark moment for the global crypto industry. The EU's MiCA passed the European Parliament, bringing much-needed regulatory clarity for crypto firms operating across Europe. So now we've got Europe in sync with regulatory clarity. I mean, although some have criticized this for saying, well, it wouldn't have prevented like an FTX collapse. Okay, but last time I checked, when Gary Gensler was asked point blank, like, I'm sorry, who was the SEC chair? Wasn't it you? Weren't you responsible? How many times did you meet with them? He said, my public record shows 2 times. Okay, so how about your unpublic record?
Yeah, how many times did he meet in private, or how many times, did he get a phone call? That was a very bizarre way of answering it, to where you have to really consider, because his personal time is his personal time. Does it go unaccounted for? Maybe he had dinner with a guy. Who knows? Maybe his parents.
And look, if you're in Europe, you want to know. So the European Parliament, they voted 529 to 29 in favor of a separate law known as the Transfer of Funds Regulation, which requires crypto operators to identify their customers in a bid to halt money laundering, with 14 abstentions. So if you think about this, Jeff, it's incredible that people are talking about, like, does Brad Sherman, is he unaware about know your customer? Is he KYC? You know, is he aware that there are already anti-money laundering? Now, let's compare and contrast that to fiat cash. Is there any know your customer if I'm carrying around $10,000? No. So if I give you $10,000 for something illegal, is there any way to know about that? There is, because on the blockchain, as Austin Campbell made very clear, everything is trackable, right? I mean, if you know who the wallet is, if you know where it transferred from, the time of day, the exact thing, now you'd have to connect the dots on that. But it's easy to do because it is KYC. You do know your customer, right? And there are anti-money laundering, the AML laws. Every exchange has it, right? That's compliant. Yet, they walk around pretending like it's the Wild West, these old mantras, the Wild West, it's crazy. I don't know how many years it would take since we've had gold and silver, then fiat currency. How many years would it take to catch up to all the illegal doings that gold, silver, and fiat over the last couple thousand years? It's going to take a long time before we reach that. But yet they paint this negative, bizarre picture, Jeff, that's just completely untrue. And that's where you need to get out there and educate these nutters, because they need better staff too. Now, hopefully they're hiring people that are younger, but hopefully they don't subscribe to blue team tendencies, because I think that could be some of the problem, Jeff. And then if we look at Susan Friedman, she's the policy over there at Ripple. She said this, while the U.S. continues to focus on enforcement instead of clarity, the EU has taken a big leap forward with a sensible, progressive approach to crypto regulation. We look forward to building and growing in the European marketplace. Jeff, what does that tell you?
It tells me that we're, here, and this is what we were talking about earlier. It's a clear, division right now. And obviously crypto companies are going to continue building. We're not going to see a rollback on the development of this innovation. The only difference that we're going to see, and this is the danger for anybody in this country, the danger is that the brain drain is real, and the brain drain will happen rapidly. So you have a company like that wants to move offshore. They move offshore. They maybe move their corporate offices offshore, but they see where the direction of things are going. They're going to follow the path of least resistance. So if the U.S. isn't the right regulatory climate and the U.S. doesn't want them, they'll move elsewhere. So they're seeing massive growth over in Europe. We're seeing growth in Asia. They're going to see growth all over the world. But there's massive pullback and resistance in this country coming from one team. And so that's it. I mean, it's so clear to me, the writing's on the wall. It's either in the next election cycle in this country, there's a massive change and we start moving things back in the right direction, or for the next 6 years, we're going to be taking a back seat to the whole world as the world ramps up economically. And I'm not going to detract, Chip, from any other country in the world being able to benefit from this. I believe that crypto is putting the power back into the hands of the people. It's also putting power back into the hands of nations that hopefully are then directed by the people. So if you look at countries in Africa that have been used and abused by nations around the world for too many years. Granted, there's huge amounts of corruption in African countries, and I think that in some of those countries they're overcoming that and they're changing the direction they're moving in. But for them to be able to embrace a mechanism for a stable currency, and I think this goes to all developing nations. If they can embrace a mechanism for stable currency, that changes the direction of that country, and it changes the direction for a positive way, because the entire trajectory of the economic stability and well-being of the people grows exponentially. And so that's what we're going to see from that, because many of these countries have their currency is just not stable. And there's too much corruption that's going on within the government. So if you can take that mechanism out, you can pull it out and allow for economic growth and success to allow people to prosper, we're going to see growth like we've never seen before. I would love to see people stay in their countries and be able to build and do amazing things in those countries, instead of always having to look around the world and leave their entire family infrastructure behind as they go out to look for ways to make money, to send money back home. I think back home is where the money has to be made. But what we're seeing, based on what the philosophies and the ideology of people like Gary Gensler and Brad Sherman and many others, is they don't want that. They don't want people to be self-reliant, Chip.
No, it's all about control too. And the only reason to have a CBDC, and Jeff, we've seen some pushback there. Two Federal Reserve governors have pushed back on, which is interesting. I'm like, there's two of them in the U. There's a bunch of the governors that in bigger cities, the Federal Reserve, and two of them had come out publicly and absolutely condemned the CBDCs, saying they're all about control. So this is a very unusual. We got to get more information on that. But I was just shocked to hear that, because it's actually a good thing, but it's surprising to hear it from governors who are pushing back on CBDCs, saying that it's nothing more than exactly that, just a form of control. I wanted to jump to this, Jeff. This is another Ripple sort of a type of a story here. And if we look at this right here, Bubba Cuggs put this out and he said, hey, pardon my ignorance, but who is Noah Youngs? And what he was referring to is that on the Ripple protocol consensus algorithm that was published by Ripple Labs in 2014, you've got three people listed here. You've got David Schwartz, which we all know, Chief Tech Officer of Ripple. And then we've got Arthur Brittle, who we've never seen, or we just know he's at Ripple. We've never seen a picture of him, and he's the famed person. But then there's this other person called Noah Youngs, N Youngs at nyu.edu. And so he's like, well, who is that? So he's asking, hey, pardon my ignorance, but who is Noah Youngs? And David Joel Katz Schwartz says, Noah's, just some guy, not really just not really it's kind of a weird thing, Jeff. I don't know what he's really talking about. There's these.
I don't know.
So he's like, I don't know.
Schwartz, I don't know what David Schwartz talks about.
He's just a guy. Is that a Yeti over there? That's look like a Yeti. It's a robot. So he says, the entire time I thought it was you, Arthur Brittle, and Jed. Am I missing something here? Because remember, we always heard too that it was Jed McCaleb was involved with that, right?
That's right. Yeah, the three of them. Yeah.
There's some dude we've never heard of before. So this is like interesting. So then we see, well, yeah, Noah wrote like 89% of the code. I may be off by about 89% or so. So apparently he didn't write any of the code if he's off by 89%. But Jeff, I mean,
what does that mean? He wrote 11%?
I don't know. I don't know what he wrote, but he's involved in it. So we look him up, like, who is this guy? Noah Youngs. He's a PhD, former chief data scientist, exploring what's next. This is his LinkedIn profile. And if we look through here, he's a chief data scientist over the VTOL group for the last 6 years over in London. He's the president of the Cohen Young's Data Science, 2 years and 2 months. He was a professional lurker over at Undercurrent and a data scientist. But if we look at this overlap here, 2014 and 2015, that's the time that this was actually put out. So I don't know, Jeff. It's one of these weird things. But I was always sure, too, that Jed McCaleb was one of the ones. But no, there's a new person here. So interesting uncover by Bubba Cuggs. Appreciate it.
So if you go to xrp.cafe and you click minting now or mint, you can actually go straight. You'll actually see that white square. So if you click that now minting, actually at the top right-hand corner, it's prompting you to connect your Zum wallet. So if you go up there and connect your Zum wallet, then that's it. Ledger wallet, no, unfortunately, for now, they only work with the Zum wallet. But the Zum wallet, it's easy to use. And that's where it then gets stored. Hopefully in the future, as these guys develop their platform. Do we have a however? Do we have a mechanism?
We have a however, because I had a conversation with Craig DeWitt from Supermojo last night via chat. And I was asking him, he said there is a way for us, if you want to pay by credit card, he can set us up on Supermojo. And we can allow you guys that. So if there's a better way for you guys.
Oh, I like that. I would like that.
And again, he's going to go and set up a badass Yetis over there on the Supermojo. That way, because a lot of what we've heard from our family and friends is, guys, I really want to get one. I really want to do it. But okay, go buy XRP at Uphold. And then what do? Then you transfer it to your Zum wallet.
Then you have to figure out how to connect it over here.
Or you click on it, you pay by credit card, and boom, it's safekeeping in a wallet for you over there on Supermojo. So
I love it.
So Craig DeWitt, really appreciate that, Craig, because this is going to open us up to a whole new opportunity. So we're going to go ahead and set up a page over there, because people are going to want to pay by credit card. So as that comes up and you want to pay by credit card, let us know, because we have to transfer one of the badass Yetis over there, and then we can go ahead. You can go ahead and again, it's going to be.
Is that how we have to do it? We have to put a badass Yeti in there.
Yeah, we actually have to put it over there, because what happens is, because the other part of it is the wallet, right? People are like, What do I do about the wallet? So the thing about the wallet is that it's in safekeeping over there in the wallet itself.
Alan Blaggers, thanks for the awesome stream. Appreciate the support.
What
you guys, if you,
that, by the way,
that's Australian currency
Australian
right there.
Currency. Yeah,
we have a huge number of listeners and supporters over in Australia. Which is awesome. Love all those freedom loving people over there in Australia. If you guys want to support the channel, you can also join. There's a little join button somewhere down there when you're watching YouTube. You click join and you can join and become an OTC member. You probably see Jim D and Legendary and some others. I don't know if I saw Legendary today, but see like Jim D, there's a cool little icon that comes up when you're on YouTube. It's actually a really cool logo on our platform here. It kind of cuts it out. You don't get to see it as cool. But Chip, we're coming up to a time. It would be really cool if do we have the Badass Yeti giveaway prompt and ready to go, because we have a short amount of time.
Yeah,
and it would be cool if people start throwing their names in there, and we have a mechanism for choosing the winner of that Badass Yeti, because I've only got 8 minutes.
Yeah, here we go. We're going to get it done. Don't worry about it. So again, look at this little animation that pops up there. Boom. There's the Badass Yetis. Of course, the logo falls there. You click on the non-minting. I'm going to go ahead and throw that right into the chat, guys. So if you guys want to go ahead and support the channel, get yourself a Badass Yeti. We have a Discord so you can talk about it. Share it on Twitter, man. We are loving what people are saying about. Discord. Some people are creating their own names for them. Somebody had their child had that looks like this, and that became the new name of the Yeti. So they're a lot of fun. So you can see all of them here. Jeff, I'm going to pull up the one that we have. Let me just stop sharing this for one moment. And then I'm going to pull up the Yeti that we are giving away today. Let me go ahead.
While you're doing that, I'm throwing in the Discord. If you guys want to follow and join in the conversation over on the Discord, go ahead and click that. Hopefully soon we'll have a custom Discord. We'll get to that point soon, but join in there. There's some great conversation going on already. And then you can even go over, we have a tribe section. You go into the blue tribe and you can share your Yetis over there and people can comment on it. That we have the whole background over on the Discord. You can read the beginning of the legend of the Badass Yetis, and we'll start adding more. We have the whole legend written out, so you guys can go back and you can even learn to speak Bay, which is Badass Yeti. They have a common dialect that all the Yetis, all the different tribes can speak together, even though they have their own unique dialects, but that would be very cool.
Yeah, so there he is. So it's Yeti 101. There you go. It's a Titan. It's a Titan, man. So we're giving that away today, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and ask you, hang on a second here. Let me just take this off here for a second. And I'm going to go over here. And here's what you're going to have to type in down there. Go ahead and type in Badass Yetis in the comments. Just that itself. Type in the word Badass Yetis into the comments right there. And again, it doesn't matter what platform you're on. If you're following us on Facebook and listening in, it'll work on Facebook. If our one watcher is on Twitch, it'll work. So it's multi-platform. Type in the word Badass Yetis, and as we start getting those in there, let me just do this. We'll set this up, and we've got a way to choose this. It's automated. We don't do anything here. But again, guys, type in Badass Yetis into the comments. If you're lurking around, you got to type in Badass Yetis into the comments. Sensitive? It's not case sensitive, but it is. But you can't. But Steve, don't do that. Spelling sensitive. But it's not separated. Don't separate it like that. It's Badass is one word. Yetis is the other one. You have Yetis spelled incorrectly. So let's do this again. You will not be. There it is, right on the screen, guys. If you're unsure, there it is. Badass is one word. Yetis, Yetis. You have to type it in that way, otherwise and if you type it in multiple ways, it's going to eliminate duplicates. So and it has to be Badass Yetis with an S. So SoFlo is Badass Yeti. So you got to get the S at the end with no apostrophe. Guys, look on the screen. It's Badass Yetis. BADASS space YETIS. To be considered. No apostrophes, no misspellings, but get it in like that. That'd be awesome. And then the system is automating that, right? It's grabbing that and it's pulling everything in. We're going to put it on screen so you guys can see. But as you can see, there's 16 entries so far, guys. There's 18 entries. So you guys are getting it now. We're starting to see the entries come in. But we'll continue to do this. Can you zoom in on that a little bit so we can actually see that as it's happening in real time? There we go. 19 entries. Come on, we can get those entries up. Come on, guys. How many people are watching? There's 141 watching. 141 people watching right now.
There should be 140 entries right now.
There's 20 of them. Come on, guys. Type in badass Yetis.
Keep it going and get a badass Yeti. And we have a whole bunch. So
okay,
this is great. Look at that.
Somebody,
20
you
so
guys
far.
got to listen, pay attention here. There's no apostrophe on there.
And no
There's no
parentheses.
apostrophe. There's no parentheses either, guys. It's just badass Yetis. I put the parentheses so you guys could see. There are no parentheses.
Get rid of the parentheses.
There's no parentheses.
Chip, you threw everybody off.
Well,
all right.
If I don't do that, then they type in then they type in badass Yetis in the comments, and then we got something else a whole different.
Right.
But yeah, this is correct.
While everybody's doing that, Chip, I just want to read this. This was really moving. This came from Crypto Bob. This was over on the Discord, and I thought this was really awesome. So we're having a conversation. Hopefully he's okay with me sharing this, but this was great. He said, to be honest, Jeff, I know we've never met, you and I are with Chip, but this community is very important to lots of people around the world. I don't have a lot of family. However, since lockdown, the COVID issues, these streams have become a lifeline for people to just be part of something special with common interests. So thank you and Chip for providing the platform for people to get together, however remote. I know you're both business people, but the community is everything. I just wanted to say thank you to you both, both of you. And I thought, Chip, that was awesome. That was an amazing comment.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, absolutely touching. And quite honestly, I mean, it's comments like that that just really hit you in the feels, man, because it's, Jeff and I enjoy doing this, but when you can see how it resonates with you guys, that's what's really awesome. So, you like the channel, you want to support it. Hey, support the channel. You guys, we built something on the XRPL. Okay. We've been talking about being builders. We built an NFT project that resides on the NFT. And if you guys want to support the XRPL and you want to believe in it, doesn't have to be our project, but engage in it, right? If you want the XRPL and especially NFTs on the XRPL, you can go to the xrp.cafe and you can engage with multiple projects, right? But get involved, right? If you believe in it and you want it to flourish, hey, get involved. So we only have 30 entries. That means a lot of people are doing duplicates. I only see 30 entries up there.
Oh yeah, don't do duplicate entries, won't be counted. So it counts you one time. So there's no reason to keep doing that.
Yeah, it doesn't entry anymore.
You just need to do it one time. One time, and that's it. It's going into the system. So
yeah,
and we're gonna have to do the drawing in like 1 minute here.
Well, it doesn't matter, Jeff. You got to bail, but I'll still be around, so it's all cool.
Oh yeah, you could do that. That's true.
It's all cool. I don't want to rush it because 30 people.
Quite a few minutes going.
There's 163 people watching and 30 people in there. That's
man, get a badass Yeti. That's very cool.
That's bizarro.
No. It's bizarro,
man.
People have to get into their comments and try to figure that out.
Crypto Clown Prince. So 32. Okay, they're coming in, guys. I want to at least get to 50 so everybody has a chance. That's about a third of the people watching right now. But if you're watching
that'd
live,
be really cool.
Type in badass Yetis just like that. What you see in the parentheses, not the parentheses. And just we'll do
badass Yetis like everyone's posting right now. And then, man, Chip, it'd be awesome. And we have to figure out how to do this. So people in the rewatch, we can do a drawing for people in the rewatch tomorrow. So that way kind of balance it out. Or anybody in the rewatch, join.
We don't have a mechanism to do that.
We don't have a mechanism to do that. So even better yet, if you're watching this in the rewatch, stay tuned and come to a live stream because this is where we're going to be doing the giveaways, which is awesome. Join the
35.
giveaway.
Come on, guys. 15 more. Let's go.
15 more. This will be awesome.
15 more, but that is for Badass Yeti 101. And what we're going to need, by the way, Jeff, let me do this really quick.
Everybody's over in the Discord and they're not paying attention. Come on now. Here we go.
Could be shocked. I mean, we got 37. Come on, guys.
13
Let's get to
more.
15. We're going to draw. So we need
and hit the like button while you're at it too. Get the likes going, all that good stuff. It's crazy too, because somehow, and YouTube probably doesn't like us talking about this, but the YouTube algorithms have been the opposite of what's really happening. So we keep getting new subscribers every show, and we see tons of new names in the comments, which is awesome. So we have like Chucky Recheck. I don't know if we've ever seen you in the chat before. Michelle Vecchio. I don't think we've seen Michelle in the chat before.
I've seen Michelle in there.
You've seen Michelle in the chats, but this is great. So we have all these brand new subscribers, and yet YouTube is going the other way.
Yeah. So honestly, because we have to, this is published on our website, guys, but also the very first link in the description. If you want to take part in this, you got to go ahead and read that and agree to this. Submissions must adhere to YouTube policy guidelines, not affiliated with giveaway or contests. It's not affiliated with YouTube in any way. We don't store, retain, or utilize any personal information from users except for the name, Twitter handle, YouTube name, and crypto wallet addresses for accounting purposes. So again, general limitations and criteria. You guys can read through that. I'm not going to read through it, but there you go. There you go. But we have to go ahead and do that. So we are compliant. We're at 43. We need 7 more. If you're listening, go ahead and type in Badass Yetis into the chat. It's on the screen right now. Badass Yetis in the comments. I will click draw and we will have it. Come on, guys.
And then after you do that, jump over to the Discord, join the Discord too, and then you can see how people are sharing, hanging out, talking, and all that good stuff.
Did you throw that in there, Jeff? The Discord?
I just threw the Discord in there. Yep. Okay, the Discord's floating around in there. And I've got to, Chip, I've got to run. So this is awesome. 6 more on there. I'll connect with you after. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. We'll have another amazing show tomorrow night too. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday evening. So I am out. Hang out with Chip through the rest of the stream here. You guys still got some good time left. I will check you guys out on the next one.
See you, Jeff. 6 more to go, guys. Come on now. 6 more to go. We can do it. Let's get there. I'm just shocked that there are 160 people watching and only 44 people care enough to support the show that actually want to win one for free, which is weird to me. But I thought 50 would be at least a third of you. And if I was just shocked. Usually giveaways, everybody's in the chat typing away, wanting to win one of these guys. And again, just so you know, the price for a Badass Yeti, if you want to go over there and pick one up, is 125 XRP. And you can go to xrp.cafe over here. I dropped it in the chat, but it's also in there it is right there. Once you connect your wallet, you do this on your mobile, by the way. You go into your mobile browser, whether you're on Android or you're on iOS, on iPhone. You click Connect Zum. It launches up your Sum app. And on Sum, you just connect it. And then you go ahead back here. You click the Mint button. Then when you click the Mint button, you go back to your Sum app. It asks you to accept you make sure you have at least 125, a little more than that because there's a small little fee that the exchange takes, but it's really small. It'll tell you the final cost. You approve it, and boom, that Yeti is yours, and it's in your wallet. That's how easy it is to do. And again, what's really great about this is most of the people that bought multiples. I know Blockchain Backer bought a bunch. XRP Rocks bought 10. So guys, really appreciate that as well. Let me go back over here. Let's see if we're close, guys. Are we getting close? Where are we on the here we are. There's 48 guys. 2 more. Can we get 2 more? Can I get 2 more? Can I get a 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 2 1 1 1 2 more? We are so close. We need 2 more guys, otherwise we'll forfeit. No, we're gonna draw today, but I'd like to see at least 50. If you're watching live, guys, just type in Badass Yetis in the comments, and you have a 1 in 50 chance. There's 1 more. When we hit that 1 more, because again, it filters out any duplicates. And when we get that 1 more, we'll be going ahead, clicking that draw button. It'll run through and we will see. Come on, guys. We can't get 1 more. It's 160 people watching this. Let's go. 160 people. Next time, we won't draw it out so long. We'll give it 2 minutes and then we'll draw. So there's 50. That's enough for the drawing. Let's go ahead, guys. Let's go ahead and let's see who's going to win. Here, 1 second. Let me just take this off so we can really focus on what we're doing here. Move that banner. And there's 51. Okay, that is it. I am going to click draw. So if you haven't done that, I know they're still coming in, but you got 1 little second to get that last one in. There's 52 people. You have a 1 in 54 chance of winning right now. I'm clicking the draw button. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Who's it going to be? Who's the big winner of a 101 Badass Yeti? There it is. It's flipping through, and who is it going to be? Boom, Brian Hearn, winner of 101 Badass Yeti. Brian, awesome. Also a big supporter, OG on this channel as well. Brian, really happy to go ahead, Brian. What I'm going to need from you is I'm going to need some personal details. Drop your Twitter in there so that go ahead, drop your Twitter handle, Brian. And if you have a Twitter handle, because we need to be able to sync up so that I can get your wallet address so that I can go ahead and send you the Badass Yeti. So I'm going to need your Sum wallet address to be able to send this to you. So please give me that, or let me know what your is. I'm going to need that, Brian, before we get out of here. Brian, well done. Congrats, man. There you go. Congrats. Everybody's congratulating Brian. Whoa, wow. Yeah, Brian. Nice. Yeah, man. You won. And also, not on top of that, couldn't go to a better person because you are also you've joined the channel. You are a member of On the Chain. So I really appreciate that as well. But I need to see let's see, what do you got there? Yeah, permanently banned from Twitter. Okay, well, here's the thing. How do I validate that you are you and I'm able to get this to you? So I'm going to need something to be able to do that. I don't know what that looks like, but I'm going to need some way to give that to you because I cannot communicate or chat with you on. So I need to see something in the chat that I can prove it's you, because otherwise we'll get 50 people reaching out saying, oh, I'm Brian Hearn, or creating Brian Hearn profiles so they can get a badass Yeti. And I have to make sure that you are who you are. And how do I do that? So sorry you got permanently banned, dude. That's rough. That's a rough one. But you're probably saying things that were unapproved. If somewhere along the line you're saying something that probably wasn't good and people didn't like that. So that's probably what happened. Let me trying to find, here we go. Okay, cool. Just trying to find something here. Let me type in this, make sure that I got it. Brian Hearn, my county, and your YouTube handle is Brian Hearn. At Twitter, banned. And I'm going to need your, let's see here, man. How do we do this? How do we do this, Brian? So yeah, look, everyone's Brian. Hey, I'm Brian. I'm Brian too. I'm Brian. So Brian, I need to be able to, we'll figure it out. I know, but you got to give me, problem is, I don't think we're going to be able to figure it out. If I can't validate you on Twitter and you can't drop a Twitter handle, you need to drop something in there that I can reach out to you so that I know it's you and I can get to you. So that's going to be, otherwise I won't be able to get it to you. I don't know if you feel comfortable dropping an email. I certainly wouldn't want that. Something more public that you would feel comfortable, like a Twitter handle, Instagram. You have an Instagram handle, Facebook. I mean, I need something to be able to track that. So otherwise we won't be able to figure it out and I can't validate it's you and somebody will end up with it, unfortunately. Send it to you in the Discord again. Anybody can go register as Brian Hearn. That's not going to work. So I have to have some kind of a validation here that it's going to be Brian. So whatever you're comfortable dropping in there, Instagram would be fine too, because I have to be able to reach out to you on some kind of a DM so that I can get your wallet address, or we can set up a different channel for communication, whether it's email or something else. So I need to be able to, yeah, Discord is not going to work. Yeah, I might have to do a redraw, King, if we can't do it, but I just, the first 6 characters of your Zum address, that's going to be the same. Probably all those are the similar. So yeah, verify once you give your full address. There you go. So, okay, so I'm going to preface the next time is we need to, if you're going to participate in the contest, we're going to need a way to be able to get it to you. And unfortunately, I'm unable to get it to you without some kind of way to validate it. You can't, like I couldn't say reach out to me because 50 people will reach out. So if there's some other way that you can, anything else you guys got? Otherwise, we'll have to do a redraw. Hate to do that, man, but you got to, I mean, what other public facing methodology do you have that you could drop? Then I grab that and then I ensure that it's you. So I'm waiting to hear from you. Brian, drop that in the chat right there. Like, what's another public facing social you have? There's XRP Rocks, big supporter of the Badass Yetis. Actually, I believe owns multiples. So there you go. You can't log into the OTC website if you're actually, anybody could log in as Brian. That's the thing, guys. You have to be able to do it. So I'm going to do a redraw because I've asked a couple times here and kind of just, I don't want to be sitting here wasting the time. But you can't even log in their website. Anybody can register as Brian Hearn. That's the thing. So you have another, Brian, you have another public facing one? I'm waiting to hear from you, Brian, in the chat. Otherwise, we'll have to do a redraw here. By the way, if you guys ever knew, I've always said it often. I'm not a fan of giveaways, and here's why: because there's always going to be something that's going to trip it up or delay it, and it's an accounting nightmare as well. But again, we believe in the community. We want to be able to give these away. Thought this would be the best place. Twitter, we're also giving them away on Twitter as well. Yeah, I don't know. There you go. So there it is right there. Are those duplicatable? That's the first, well, more than 4 of your ZUM. Okay, so then in this case, Brian, go ahead and send us an email with the rest of your wallet address, and we will get it to you. And how do you do that? You simply will go to onthechain.io, and you simply go here. If you're not already, you scroll up here to the, I'm sorry, go to contact, and simply fill out the form, put your name, your email. Again, this is only for us. We don't do anything with it. We don't save them, but this is the way you can reach out to us. You need your email in case we need to respond to you, or if there's something wrong, we need to respond to you. Again, it's not public. And then here's put a subject, put the message in there, and then go ahead and send your full wallet address to us, and we'll go ahead and make sure we get that off to you. So there you go, and there you have it. So we have that last 4. Let me just go ahead and, where was that? MySpace. Yeah, you reached out to me on MySpace. You know, we all probably have a profile there. Is that even a thing? I mean, I don't even know if that's still around. Who knows? Who knows if that's still around? I'm trying to see if Brian, where was your, I got to grab that here. Man, yeah, so everybody typed in Brian, so then I can't find your actual, just had it up on screen, but can I find it? No, can't find it. Looking for your wallet address here, because I've got to take a, there we go. There it is. There it is. All right. All right. So there we go. Go ahead and grab that. And let me do this. All right, perfect. Awesome. Brian, you have that badass Yeti coming your way. Go ahead and do that right away, and I'll go ahead and take care of that and square up with you, man. So appreciate that. Nice winning today. Nice winning. Gosh, we'll give another badass Yeti away tomorrow night. I think what we'll do is we'll start the draw earlier in the show. So as you guys, go, we'll leave that on the screen as we go through the stuff. That way, when it's time to draw, people will have time to have typed that in, and it'll be more efficient. But again, as you go, sometimes you always got to figure out this as you go, and you workshop it live, and you figure out what works best. But we'll do that at the beginning, so that but the thing is, you're going to have to be present at the end, because we need to square up with you. And it's always better if you have at least something public facing, like a Twitter. You drop your exact Twitter address in there. That way we reach out to you and we know it's you. That way we know we're communicating with you. But having known other YouTubers and have done this in the past, everyone comes out of the woodwork saying they are somebody that they're not. So always appreciate that, guys. And I know Jeff had to take off, but thank you and good night. Thank you and good night. Yeah, thank you and good night. Where is that thank you, good night thing? It's in here somewhere. Here it is.
Thank you and good night.
There it is. Thank you and the good night. The official announcer of On the Chain broadcast. And thank you, everybody, for showing up again. We have the best and brightest here at On the Chain, smartest people in crypto. Keep doing what you need to do in your particular country, and keep educating people. And of course, go over to xrp.cafe, support the channel, get yourself a badass Yeti, share it on Twitter. Go ahead and join the Discord if you want to do that too. Thank you so much for that. Jeff Wollings, appreciate that. Canadian, beautiful. I love our Canadian friends too. And as I've often mentioned, that my family immigrated from Hungary on my dad's side, and also into Canada. And only my grandfather moved to the US. Everybody else stayed up in Canada. So a lot of Canadian relatives up there. Appreciate that, Jeff Wollings. And hopefully I said your names correctly, but appreciate your support, guys. Always fantastic. Peace out, fam, says Hans Loaded, really appreciate that. The official producer of On the Chain as well. And peace out. Love you guys. Take care. Solid XRP rocks. Love you. Awesome, man. South Florida Digital. Take care, Chip. Have a great weekend. You guys do the same. We'll be back here tomorrow night. Paper Chaser says, hit that like before you go. Subscribe, unsubscribe. Sometimes that way, and then hit that bell. Sometimes if you lose that notification, everybody's saying take care. Guys, appreciate you. Appreciate the, Jeff and everybody else who also sent a super chat. We really appreciate that. Also got one from down under as well. But that's all we have time for today, guys. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Come back tomorrow night. We'll do another Badass Yeti giveaway. And we'll have some other things going on too. But excited to see who ends up with a Badass Yeti, what it looks like. Did you rename your Badass Yeti? Did you give it a name? It comes with a unique name with pronunciation as well. It's part of the attributes. And it also comes with a rarity. So you can see how rare it is against the other Yetis. So let me know how that goes. Tag at Badass Yetis, same way it was on the screen, and tag it in there. And then when you share it on Twitter, that way you can notify us and we can actually see what Badass Yeti got. We'll retweet that and share in the excitement as well. So really appreciate you guys, and we'll see you all in the next one. Chip and Jeff out. See you guys. Have a good one.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.